Hey guys, just thought I'd do another little quick look at. Was out today shooting the CZ-82. Just got done cleaning it up. Just thought I'd give you guys a quick look at it. Nice little pistol, really is. I got this from AIM Surplus a couple years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. It's a military surplus pistol. Basically, this gun is a compact semi-automatic. It was made for the Czechoslovakian military, and it's chambered for the 9mm Makarov, which is basically a 9x18. A little bit shorter than your standard 9mm, but at the same time, it's just a little bit bigger than your 380 or 9mm Browning. It's a fun gun. It's a surplus gun, so don't expect the best in the world. I mean, it's got finish marks and all that kind of stuff, scratches on it, stuff like that. But what's cool about it is it's a great shooter. It really is. I mean, this pistol is just a great shooter. I mean, it's snappy, but it's all steel frame, and it's got a lot of pluses, and it's got a lot of stuff that guns didn't have until 1982. This gun was made, not this particular one, but this model itself it came out in 1982. And basically what it did is it replaced the 7.62-25 Makarov. I think it was the model 52 Czech pistol. This is what replaced that. I'll throw a picture in there so you guys know which gun I'm talking about. Most of you guys, if you see the gun, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this is what replaced that. And this was not only military, it was also police. It's a double action, single action. So it's a DASA, if you guys understand what that means. It means double action, single action variety. So when you load the magazine, put it in the gun, you would cock, load around. There's two ways you could carry this. You could carry it like a 1911, cocked and locked, or you could actually drop the hammer, and if you see right there, the hammer doesn't go all the way down, and it cannot strike the internal firing pin there. So you could carry this gun in a double action mode. So your first round would go off double action, and then all other rounds, all the other 11 rounds would go off single action. And every time it would go back, the hammer would be back, and you would pull the trigger again. Now this gun does not have a decock on it, so you would actually have to lower the hammer. But what is cool about this, in 1982, they did not have pistols that had certain things to them. So really, this is like a benchmark gun to an extent. The first thing is, we already talked about the safety. You got a cock and lock capability. But what's cool about that? Voila, flip it over, and you got an ambidextrous cock and lock. That was not on a military gun until this gun was developed. At least in major service. There might have been prototypes or something like that. Another cool thing about this gun, and everybody seems to favor this nowadays, is you got your magazine drop, which is right there. Drop it, and the mag comes out. But what's cool about it, you also got one on the other side, ambidextrous, baby. You just drop it the same way. And it's a single spring, so you don't need to reverse it like you do on like a today's Glock, or I mean, I know you can buy left-handed like 1911s and everything like that. This is a true ambidextrous gun. You don't need to worry about switching anything. The only thing that's not ambidextrous would actually be the actual slide release. The slide release itself is only on the left side of the pistol, so there is not one over here. That's the only thing not ambidextrous about this pistol. But going back to 1982, nobody had, an ambidextrous safety. Nobody had ambidextrous slide release. That was an addition and or custom job that you had to have done. So for a military pistol, this thing pretty much had it all. And you can also tell European block gun, I mean, look at the big, I mean, that's for a glove. You could get a glove finger in this thing all day long. You know, even in double action, there's a lot of room there. So, you know, that's a big trigger housing. Very, very big. It was made for gloves. It was made for cold weather. And there's nothing small about any of these, you know, dials. I know I got some crappy light going on here, but, you know, that's fairly big, and it's the exact same size on the other side. So it's not like the 1911s that you see on some where it's all small on one side and a real big, you know, beaver tail side on one side. You know, it's this exact same on both sides. And I'm not knocking 1911s. Everybody knows I'm a 1911 freak, super freak. So anyway, I mean, it's a really well put together pistol. And these things seen service all the way up into, if I'm correct, I want to say it was like in the 90s. Mid 90s, 95, 93, something like that. This one here was actually made, you see the SHE marking, and then there's a 90 with the cross swords. The SHE is the factory that it was made in, and the 90 is the year. So this is a 1990 production date. You know, it's the model, the VOR, or however you want to pronounce that, VOR meaning model. It's the Model 82 9x18. And that's the factory it was made in. And the cross swords is just a symbol of the factory. And then up here, you have a T marking. And the T marking is basically the stamping for, you know, the military, to basically say it was arsenal ready. Excuse me. But very, very, very interesting weapon. Also, holds a lot of firepower. There's 12 rounds in 1982 in a service pistol. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not the biggest gun in the world. Man, it's almost a 4-inch barrel. It's 3.8 inches. The overall gun is only like 6. So it's not very big. I mean, I would call this like compact. Compact with a lot of firepower. And this is nothing to shake a stick at, I'm telling you. This is a potent round. And they do make those in hollow points. Corbomb makes them. I've had them. And, you know, I've shot coyotes with them. And they will go down. This is nothing to laugh at. This is a very potent gun. I mean, all guns are potent, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, you can't knock this cartridge. I mean, it's a 9x18, so it's you know, it doesn't have the major charge of a, you know, a regular 9mm Parabellum or a 9mm Luger. And yeah, and the actual round itself is only 95 grains. Okay? Versus, you know, a 9x19, which is 115 up to 147. Or, once again, you know, you got the 380 or the 9mm Browning. And that's anywhere from 80 to about 90 grains, 94. It goes up right about that. You know, you can't see it there, but there is a little bit of difference. You know, this is really technically a 9x17. That's the 380, by the way. The gun's pretty cool. Like I said, it's got lots. You know, it's got the scratches. The finish is one thing that's different looking, and that's what I like about it. It's different. That's why I love old history. I love, you know, military. I like all that kind of stuff. So basically, getting into the gun itself, I already told you about the mags. This thing is basically like a Walther. The PPK, the P series of Walthers. It's also like a Bursa, and in essence, it breaks down kind of similar, a little different from the new version of the Bursa. But basically, to break this gun down, it's simple as hell. You have your trigger housing here, and basically you just pull it down.